All right. Good evening, everybody. I apologize. These are turning out to be a little bit later than I thought, but I only have a little bit of time. I did get a chance to trade today, but unfortunately, I was not able to start recording early in the morning, and by the time I was able to get on, a little bit too late. So, we're gonna do a quick market review for today. If you haven't watched my day 13 market preview, which I did post before the market happened, and we're going to take a look and we're going to take a look at the charts and see what happened and how close that was to what I was expecting. So let's go take a look at the daily now. So here we've got the daily chart here. Let's expand and zoom a little bit. We can see, well, I guess let me start out on the outskirts. We're still in a premium, very much so a premium on the daily here. We've gone up to a monthly level there with those two red lines, and we're going to zoom in on what's happening now. So this range that it's in. So what I want to point out is, and we'll get to the yellow and red lines in a minute, but what I want to point out is looking at these past few days. Remember, this is a daily chart. Remember, during yesterday's pre-market analysis, I assumed that we would be creating what? A sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, fair value gap here. I anticipated that this was going to form, and I'm still under the impression that we are going to be able to go up a bit. As we go into FOMC, I fully expect this to tag what these are on a lower time frame. Go back and watch March 13th. There, we'll look at a couple of lower time frames, so you'll see it again, but go back and look. I have the overall range yesterday. Equilibrium was around here for the start of the week. And actually this has started to go down to here too, so equilibrium's even easier to hit, and it's within that fair value gap. So that's what my eyes are taken to. And then of course on the downside, we kind of see that this past day took that sell side liquidity and then rose up. So this liquidity has been taken. This 15354.75 liquidity has been taken now. So what's there to take next? Well, there's this fair value gap. So I was thinking it was going to go up first, but it makes sense now to see that it took the sell side first and then went upwards. But this is all something that we've anticipated, that was in my previous video as well, so go back and watch that and you'll see. So tomorrow I expect a little bit of a move up into that range, maybe not the full range, but just enough to let the price hover around here so that for FOMC it can rise up into this area and then take the imbalances, take the liquidity there, and then go from there. So let's go down to a 15-minute chart because I unfortunately don't have a lot of time today. You can look at the hourly and the 4-hour just to make sure that you have those on your charts and you know what's going on there. So be sure to look at those. So let's look at today's price action, okay? So new week opened here. There's a new week opening gap here. So that formed. I'm keeping my eyes out for this old new week opening gap up here. I can see that. I can see this buy side liquidity. We're going to draw that out in time, and we're going to mark that as well. We ended up also, I'm going to take off this equilibrium here. I don't need it right this moment because I know where my charts are. So, but we can see a little bit closer price action here. We opened the day upwards. We see in London it kind of chopped. It took out Asia's range high and range low. Typically, that's an indication that we're going to see choppy action. So this is a little bit of an anomaly, but throughout the day, it wasn't super clear. But if you look at this on a 15-minute, it actually is quite clear. So we see that this buy side liquidity got taken, right? This one here, that got taken right at the bell, or actually right in the morning. Sorry, right in the morning, New York Open. What else is over here? Remember this low? We drew it out in time. We knew it was going to go for that area because it was relative equal lows. It takes that and then it begins a spool up to take the next form of liquidity. Right after it hits that, we see a short-term high form here at open, and there's actually a lot in this area on the lower time frame. But if you're only trading this 15-minute, what is here? You see a fair value gap form. You see displacement above a previous short-term high. You see a previous sell side liquidity taken. That's a 2022 model. So this is the area I would be looking for price to return to before it continues forward over noontime to take lunchtime liquidity. So what forms here? Well, if you were able to get some of this move upwards, you were able to target this short-term high, and it hit that. It gives you many different opportunities to get out before it continues back downwards to retrace, pick up some more longs, and continue to blow the short-term highs as well. Price throughout the rest of the day kind of meanders around until later on in the day we see evidence of a short-term low being broken. Again, you'd have to look down on the lower time frames to see where those entries would be at that time to take this down. Hits the new week opening gap again, and then rises up to finish off the day. Let's take a look at the 5-minute now. So on the 5-minute chart, you can see a little bit easier how, remember this same low, relative equal low, we took that out here. Short-term high, displacement, fair value gap. Price comes down into it, takes out this bullish order block, and continues forward. Now, this would have been a really tough hold for most people. That's about 10 points there. But I guess it would have been quite difficult to hold in general. If you're only operating on the 5-minute, it would have been quite hard. But you see this giant fair value gap, you could have still gone up and had a really nice, oh gosh, what is that, a 90, 80 point run up to this safe mark here. So let's take a look at the 1-minute. And let's take a look at some of the lower time frame areas here. So we know from those higher time frame areas, we see that price has gone up, gone down, has retraced a little bit into a bullish order block area, continues to go up, and then creates a short-term low here. And what happens right at open? It goes down to tag that. Now, when we see this type of explosive action, you can go in at any point here. You can go in and you can capture a majority of that move. You can take it up to this new week opening gap. You can take it up to this weekly consequent encroachment. I'm not going to show you what that is. Go to your weekly chart and go look at that. It was there. And you can go to this previous short-term high. Easy money there. Very easy money. I wasn't able to trade this morning. When I did get a pocket for a break, I ended up taking this return to an imbalance back upwards. And I believe I played this imbalance as well. All in all, pretty excellent price action. Now let's take a look over at later on in the day, 2 to 3 o'clock, ICT silver bullet, right? So we see these short-term lows hit. We see a fair value gap form here. We also see that this returns to that fair value gap. It goes a little bit above it. So again, this would have been a very difficult hold. If you didn't hit that one, unfortunately, there weren't a lot of other ones on the 1-minute to take a look at. If you go down to a lower time frame than that, you're going to find some other entries there, but I'm not going to do that today. You could have taken this down to the new week opening gap and been content, right? On a day like this, you're not sure exactly where price is going to go. That still would have given you a solid 30, 40 handles on NASDAQ. So definitely worthwhile. Pretty choppy kind of a day, difficult day to read for most. I am going to remove this area of liquidity there. And now we see on the 15-minute again, we see that we've got that area of liquidity up there. Then we go opening gap. we no longer have this as a core form of liquidity. So we're actually going to drop this down here, and we're going to run this all the way over here. We're going to take a peek to see if there's anything on this side that we might have missed. There's bullish order block there, right? So maybe that's why we went down all the way there, and then continued upwards. So what that means is there's sell side liquidity down there. So let's see what that liquidity exactly is. So this is 15330.50. So let's make sure we mark that on our charts. $15,330.50, relative equal low. And we want to get this one as well. High of 15,468. And 15,468, yes, we want that. I need that. I think I've already made this into a buy side liquidity. And all I need is a little text here. Let's borrow this one here. Let's keep this over here. And we'll do 15,468 a day buy side liquidity. And actually, let's just say 15 minutes. So I'm just going to remove that. And let's make that the buy side liquidity template. So we have that. Great. Okay, so that's all we have here. Again, like I do believe we go for this liquidity up here. Let's see how Asia trades. It looks like it's come up from this a little bit, but it's coming back down into it. So yeah, I do see a little bit of liquidity down here along with the new week opening gap. And of course, this liquidity here lying right before the bottom half of a daily BISI low. So that is an area that's very interesting to me. And there's a weekly bullish order block. I don't know if that bullish order block is going to hold, but let's see. So TBD on if it actually goes up into this before FOMC, but I could certainly see FOMC dropping down and then coming back up, or going up and then dropping all the way down. I would rather it go up first and then go down, just the way that market structure has been forming over the past like few days. If we go back to the daily chart, zoom in on where we're at right now, I would prefer this to be displacement down, candle close, right? I'm looking at the candle closes on these to give me a sense of where things are going to go. This gap on the daily, still watching that. These lows, this daily low first, this volume imbalance next, and this old new week opening gap next. This low, right? So those are all things that fill me in that we're aiming towards these lows here. We've already broken market structure here, and so I think we're going to continue downwards. Let's see how FOMC treats us, but I think that is it for tonight. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you see this before you start trading. I can't guarantee I'm gonna wake up in time to actually trade tomorrow, but I will try to record what I can. I'll try to record the day, and of course record FOMC so we can go back and replay that over time, because that's really important. So with that, everyone, have a great evening, great morning, good luck trading. You know where my bias is. Go back. If you don't, go back and look at the weekly review and outlook over the course of, I think I did that on Sunday before Monday, so check that out. And with that, I'm gonna head out. So have a good night, stay safe, trade safe, and good luck tomorrow. Okay, take care.